All right. Well, I am like so blown away and honored to have experienced this We Rise Up um, global event at the source, at the core. And I'm just honored to be here with the team, with the core that birthed this amazing project. And I just want to ask, you know, let's start with you, Alex. What was that experience like, bringing this all together?
Specifically this morning was just incredible. We were out here at 6 a.m. and just getting motivated and just having 2,000 kids, 1,200 from the high school and
800.
800 from the middle school, and it was the most epic experience I've ever had.
So We Rise Up started about 4 years ago in Boulder, Colorado, when myself, Michael, Shaun, and Alex, and a number of thought leaders, business leaders, social leaders came together for a summit that really explored how do we rise up together? What is the new model of success? How do we have a world that works for everyone and everything? And we brought together people like John Mackey, the founder of Whole Foods Market, Blake Mikowski from Tom Shoes, Ariana Huffington, Moby, and a whole selection of really innovative, pioneering people to come together to explore what is the new model and really how do we come together to rise up. And so from that has spawned one thing after the next, and really we've just gotten more momentum and more collaboration, working now with the United Nations, working with the Dalai Lama, and really pulling together from all areas that we are really all in it together.
Well, sometimes I felt like less like a director and more like an anthropologist, like uncovering something that was happening. And so, unlike a normal documentary where you kind of have your shot list and the things you want to get from people, I had no idea where we're going. So we just sit down and have conversations with amazing people. And sometimes they were an hour. And I just followed my intuition and my heart in the conversation. And I think in the final film, you see some amazing gems that are really just from me being with somebody and them being with me. And then something emerges and the magic comes up. And because we did all the shooting direct to camera, all of those connections that I made with all of those people actually connect with the audience and the people that are there. And it's a powerful movement. It's a powerful moment to stare into somebody's eyes as they're speaking the truth. And so the real struggle is just making it into a film. We have hundreds of hours of footage, and 90 minutes is what we had to distill down to. There are so many beautiful moments that didn't make the film, but the ones that are there are the ones that are going to move the world.
First of all, the power of youth. I think it always inspires me to work with youth. And this particular action on snow in Park City at Sundance, connection with nature and creative activation to me are the medicine for what ails the world. And when we can do those two things together, like we did today, to be out in the world, not looking at little screens, absorbing information, instead sending out information and activation, and the molecules of this place are different now than they were 6 hours ago, because of all the hearts, minds, and spirits and bodies that were here that were basically activating. And it's important that we educate ourselves, and it's really important that we put it into action, because every time we put it into action, we learn a little more, it releases energy, and it activates other people. And so for me, that's why this work really turns me on. Wow. I think the time where it was kind of cool to not be engaged in our political process is over. Like, now is a time where we all need to be engaged. Because when you don't engage because you think it's corrupt or you think it's this or that, you seed the ground to people who are more than happy to step in and do things that aren't really supporting a regenerative future. So anyone who cares about honoring diversity, about love, beauty, protecting the earth, this is when we need to really rise up, engage in the system. In the last election, it was amazing. The Women's March 2 years ago, that was awesome. But if it hadn't led to this huge wave of female lawmakers getting into Congress, it would have just been us making ourselves feel good and venting some steam. So it's like translating that energy into tangible action, where choices are made that affect millions of people and alters the trajectory of where we're headed as a society. That's it. Get engaged, register to vote, and just become aware. This is the time.
I just feel so blessed and honored that I get to be with this amazing, extraordinary team. I still can't believe I'm here. As an inspirational empowerment comedian, I've been inspiring thousands of kids all over the country for many, many years. So when I reconnected with Kate, and she's like, "You have to be in my movie," I was like, "I'm not a global leader." She said, "Yeah, you are. And kids need to see this movie. Young people need to see this movie." And I said, I could bring it to a lot of young people. So I feel very blessed to be part of this family, and looking forward to sending the message to kids who already know that they're amazing.
Yeah.
And now they have a team of us to remind them of that, and for a platform to let their light shine and to rise up. So very, very blessed to be here.
It just feels incredible. And I think we're not really causing the movement. The movement's just uprising itself. Everybody who has heard of the project or just come into this field is just rising up on their own, and that's what feels really amazing, because we always talked about creating a movement and we were like, okay, what's it going to take to do that? But it's just happening from each individual. And my takeaway from this whole experience just this weekend here being at Sundance is what's really come home to me is that it's just really landed that this movie is making everybody feel that each and every one really matters. No matter where you come from, what race, walk of life, what part of the earth you live on, we all matter.